So who else gave up hope that we were ever getting a sequel to this movie? Hey everybody, welcome back to Real Anime Training. I am your Real Anime Sensei, and today we're going to do something that is not quite anime, but it is animated. In honor of The Incredibles 2, we are going to do a Metcon based on all of the heroes in the team, and we are going to see just how fit you can get by emulating this team of supers.
Is this all vegetables? Who wanted all vegetables?
I did.
We want to have the strength of Mr. Incredible, the mobility and flexibility of Mrs. Incredible, Elastigirl. We want to have the stability of Violet, the speed of Dash. And for Jack, we're just going to do something to mimic him being a baby because, you know, babies don't have powers, right? Right? All right, this workout is pretty simple. What it is, it's going to be 5 exercises and it's going to be 5 rounds. The first exercise is going to be courtesy of the big man himself, Mr. Incredible. That man has the biggest chest in history of anything. And because he's got the biggest chest in the history of anything, we are going to start this off with the bench press. For the bench press, you're going to use 50% of your 1 rep max. Or if you do not know your 1 rep max, something that you can typically get about 10 reps with. And what we're going to do is we're going to do as many reps as we possibly can in a 1 minute time frame. If you have to re-rack the weight, that's fine, but 1 minute, as many reps as possible. Moving forward, we have Mrs. Incredible, Elastigirl. We're going to do some work on the Cossack squat. And the Cossack squat is a very, very difficult squat. It is a bodyweight movement that is highly based in mobility. So if you have difficulty with your flexibility or mobility, this is going to be something to help you build that, but it's also going to be something that you're going to have a hard time doing. So we do have some variations available using a bench to help support yourself and whatnot, but I'm going to start with the most difficult version and work my way back. So with the most difficult version, what you're going to do is you're going to squat down into the bottom of a squat, and you're going to shift your weight over onto 1 foot. When you do that, I want you to take the other foot and stick it out to the side. And when you get to the bottom of the squat, you're going to take your other foot and stick it out to the side with the toes pointed up toward the ceiling. Your heel's going to be in contact with the floor. Now what you're going to do from this position is you're going to shift your weight from one side to the other. The 1 foot that is pointing up towards the ceiling, the toes that are pointing towards the ceiling, you're going to put that foot flat on the ground and you're going to transfer your weight to that foot instead of the foot that you were just on. And then that foot is then going to point towards the ceiling. And you're just going to repeat that process as many times as you can in a minute with good form. You do not want to rush this because you can hurt yourself. When you are in the bottom of the Cossack squat, you need to make sure that the weight is in your midfoot and that you are pushed back into your hip. You do not need to be rolling forward onto your toes because that's going to put excess pressure on the knees, and it's also not going to accomplish what the point of the exercise is, which is increasing your hip mobility in the bottom of a squat. Working backward in difficulty, we then have a Cossack squat using the bench as support with your hands on the bench. So you're doing the exact same movement this time, but you're now doing it while holding onto a bench so that you don't fall over. It takes a lot of work to get to the point to be able to do a Cossack squat without falling over, so that bench is really useful for support. Moving back a little bit further, if you can't even get into the bottom position, using the bench as something to support you with your hands behind you is also very helpful. And also you can sit on it and just kind of move back and forth and put a little bit more weight on the leg as time goes on. So it's something that you can really work on over time by just putting more weight on the leg each time you do it. If you're especially heavy or if you lack mobility, this is something that is going to take a long time for you to be able to get used to doing. But fortunately, we've got a full minute to get some practice in, and we're going to have 5 rounds of this. The next exercise is moving on down the line. Age-wise, we're going to hit Violet, and that is plank. So we're going to stay in plank for 1 minute straight. Might seem pretty easy. Wait till we get to later rounds. On the plank, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a straight line from our shoulder all the way down to our heel. We want to make sure that that hip does not dip down and your butt's not all up in the air. So to do that, you want to squeeze your butt to push your hips forward into a neutral position, and then squeeze your abdominals to lock that into place. And you just want to hold that position. Breathe normally. At some point during the process, if you're not used to doing planks, or if you're in later rounds, you're going to feel like your body's shaking. That's completely normal. Just hold it as best you can. If you fail, don't worry about it. Once the minute is up, just move on to the next exercise. And the next exercise is our good old friend dash. For a little dash, what we're going to do is we're going to pick a space 25 to 100 meters. Doesn't really matter. The point is what we're going to do is from the start to the finish of that, you are going to accelerate as quickly as you can to reach maximum speed before you hit that point. So from 0 to 25, you'd be working mostly on your beginning acceleration. From 0 to 50, you'd be working on really getting into that acceleration. And from 0 to 100, you might be able to reach your top speed in that time frame during that distance. But so I wouldn't always do the exact same distance when you did this Metcon. So you can change it up. It's not a big deal. But once again, we're doing a minute here. So what I want you to do is I want you to sprint it out and jog back. And then we're going to move on to our final exercise, which is via Jack Jack. And this is pre-powered Jack Jack. We're going to do a bear crawl. So we want to make sure that we have one short side and one long side. The hands and feet are going to be on the ground, butt's a little bit up in the air. You're going to alternate sides that are short and long. So if you have a short side on your right side and a long side on your left side, as the right hand comes up to move, the left foot follows it, and then the left hand goes up and then the right foot follows it, and you move forward in this position with the weight being more on your hands than on your feet. So the base level of this workout is 5 rounds, 5 exercises. So first round, as many reps as possible in a minute with 50% of your 1 rep max on bench press. Second exercise, as many reps as possible with good form of the Cossack squat. Third exercise, hold a plank for a minute. Fourth exercise, sprint and jog intervals for a minute. And the final exercise is bear crawling for a minute. Increasing the difficulty for this workout is pretty simple. All we're going to do is we are going to have an increased weight on the bench press for Mr. Incredible. So we're going to have 2.5, 5, 10 pounds added every round. And that's what that's going to do, is that's going to tax the muscles a little bit more. Now, mind you, as you get to the end, if you're in round 4, round 5, even though it's, at this point, maybe 60, 65% of your 1 rep max, that weight's going to start to feel really heavy because you're super, super tired. If you're looking to increase the difficulty for the other exercises, what I primarily want you to focus on is form and speed. So either that means doing more repetitions of the Cossack squat, or moving further with the sprint or bear crawl. So don't get too crazy with it. It's a pretty simple Metcon. We don't want to overcomplicate it. You want to try to transition between these exercises relatively quickly, 10 to 15 seconds in between each exercise. Don't let that transition time cut into the time that you spend on the exercises. I really want you to spend 1 minute each on each of these exercises. So all in all, with transition time, this workout might take you about 30 minutes. Make sure that you warm up beforehand. If you're not sure about a warm up, you can check out the Real Anime Training warm up at realanimetraining.com. And if you don't have a stretching routine, you can follow the Real Anime stretching routine. So with the warm up, workout, and stretching routine, you can get this all said and done in about 45, 50 minutes. And I guarantee at the end of this workout, you're going to be completely wasted.
I'm cooking. Oh my God. Cooking.
Because the point is to give it your all. We are leaving everything on the table, so at the end of this workout, you are going to feel incredible. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching that video. I really enjoyed making it. If you liked it, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with all your friends, and leave a comment below with what you think is going to happen in Incredibles 2, because I thought it was going to be more about superhero fighting, but it looks like there's going to be some more about like family drama, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but I am excited to see it. So we will see just exactly what happens in The Incredibles 2. And until next time, thank you guys again. Good luck and train hard.
Oh gosh.
Ow. Duffy just tried to kill me. And fourth attempt. This is the fourth attempt this week?
All right.